Hello everybody and welcome into the aquaponic shop for this particular Wednesday Bears Den update report. I thought since that, what was it, Euro Grower garden thing that I got sent from General Hydroponics came with a chemical pH test kit, we would finally test the pH in my aquaponic tank here. Now, I have basically already started to shut this down. I'll show you really quickly what I've done. And yeah, I'll finish it up probably in the next few days. I got to get some insulation on payday. But yeah, the garden here is basically shut down. I'm not even going to try and grow any kale or anything in it this year. I just don't have the right kind of setup. It's not like it was grown in Penticton. I do not have a beautiful gardening season 12 months of the year here. I got a beautiful gardening season 4 months out of the year, and that is really pushing it. So let's take a look around and get started. As you can see, the pump is off. I don't have any water flowing through this anymore. Still a little bit in there, and I will drain this before we get truly freezing nights. But here's an interesting sort of thing. Those are some cuttings from the sand dollar pepper that I just kind of shoved in, and they look like maybe they've rooted. But I just don't know if I'm going to bother taking them inside or not. They're pretty hurting. And that gets to be a very large and bushy sort of plant. So I don't think they're going to go too far. But you know, still, it's kind of interesting. Actually, let's pull them up right now and find out if they rooted or not. As my arm gets in the light, I don't see any roots on there, but that is definitely new growth since I plunked it in. So, I don't know. Let's try this one here. Don't see any roots on that. And last but least, no roots on that. So I wonder where they were drawn in their moisture from for that new growth. That is kind of fascinating. But yeah, shutting her down for the winter. Gonna get some insulation. I'm thinking probably I'm gonna get that stuff that you're supposed to use for your water tanks or your furnace ducts. That'll be a little bit of protection. It's not a whole lot. It's not like the thick, solid foam board insulation I was wanting to put on it, but you know, you do what you can, right? As I've said, the pump is off. I've thrown a couple air stones in there. You can sort of see the goldfish in the bottom of all that. They get a little nervous when I come in here now because it's usually a few days between each visit. But such is life. They've been kept alive so far for a good year. Here's a look at the current temperature in the tank. So I'm pretty sure I'll be able to keep these guys alive until next spring, and we can get back at this, maybe with a greenhouse or maybe with I don't know, some sort of portable summertime aquaponic garden. Who knows? As I was saying a minute ago though, that General Hydroponics Euro Grower garden did come with this chemical pH test, and it's got the readings right on the side of it there, so that's nice and easy. Now apparently I just fill up this vial about halfway, add 3 to 5 drops, and you know, shake it for a while, compare it to the sides. So I'll do some of that off camera, and we'll take a look and see what it says. So it says 3 to 5 drops. I went with 4. Shake this up. That's not a good color there. Whoa, that's really not a good color. I'd say it's almost in the 8 category there. Holy wow, a little awkward with just the one hand, but well, maybe 7. On its way to 8, we'll say 7.5. So that's really kind of not as bad as I was expecting. I was almost expecting off the charts with that, but let's just check the end line there. That is kind of blue, but I'm going to say 7.5 to 8. Definitely needs a little improvement. And going into the winter, it's going to need probably lots of improvement. But at least now I know. And I'll just throw that plastic on there for now as a quick kind of cover. Help keep a little bit of the heat in there anyway, not much. But I've only got this heater set to, I think it's like 60. Had it going for like 90 last winter, but I was also trying to run the stupid thing for the first few months of winter, and this year I know better. Yeah, and this year I also know I got to get the pump out of the sump tank before that thing freezes solid again, and I've got to go at it with a chisel, so I'll just do that off camera too. While we're out here, we'll take a look at what's left of the garden. I've still got that one Brussels sprout. Got to harvest those. Got some bacon in the house for that, but those Brussels sprouts, they're not looking quite as good as the one that was behind the tomato. But as you can see, these kale plants are doing pretty darn good compared to a few things. I'm amazed the Swiss chard is still doing this well. But what really looks good is my replanting of the curled kale. We've been enjoying this a few nights in a row, really. It's doing quite well, very happy to have it around. And I'm definitely going to let it grow as long as it possibly can. These peas behind it are toast. These little cabbages, I don't know, we still might get little tiny heads out of those guys yet. Looks like something is still trying to eat away at the leaves. Would have thought the bugs would have died off by now. But for those who are curious, this is my fall/winter garden and the dog's head. Thinking about getting a cold frame up over this one and, you know, yeah, extending the season a little bit. Maybe even starting some kale nice and early next spring. But that too waits on finances. And here we have the windowsill peppers. They're doing alright. Still getting their showers on a regular basis. Unfortunately, the last one did wash off pretty much all of those flower starts, with the exception of that one right there. But, you know, such is life. They're sitting in a windowsill. I shouldn't really expect these guys to bear fruit for me anyway. Still, if they can make it till next spring and finally go outside, that'd be a darn good start. And I guess that's pretty much where I'm going to wrap it up for this week. I have officially decided what I'm going to plant in that Euro grower. I'm going to head downstairs probably in the next couple of days, grab that one yellow fatale that did grow for me. Gonna do the taste test on that. Hopefully I'll get that on video. Hopefully there are at least 8 seeds in there, because that's what I'm gonna plant, is the fatale from the side yard. It wasn't a very big plant, and you know, I'm sure others have grown much larger, but that's the smallest plant with the hottest pepper that I can think of in my collection. So yeah, taste test on the yellow fatale, and then I am planting the seeds for into that Euro grower. Right on. Alright everybody, I'm going to wrap it up there like I was kind of saying, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of the week. I will see you next Wednesday.